Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all bearing up. Here in England, the schools are closing on Friday, that's tomorrow, and so all the more need for lots of activities at home, which will help children improve their reading and also engage them so they don't get too bored. So I just wanted to talk to you today about games and the importance of games. I recently read a blog by Professor Louisa Moats in which she mentioned that a child needs to have roughly an exposure of 40 times to a word before it's committed to sight memory or to sight vocabulary in the brain. So it's no wonder that many kids who don't get many exposures, why they might not keep up with the class or might forget what they've been taught. So games are a great way to make sure that children have repeated exposures. And here are two games that we're going to put on our website for you to use. They're in fact the same game. One is completely blank, the other one has got your signposts already coloured for you. And what you'd need to do first thing is, if you take the blank one, is to colour the arrows which lead to, which move you on in the game green, and you'd colour the arrows that make you go back in the game red, and that's what I would be doing first thing. Right, I'm just giving you an example of how to do it. So here's one I prepared earlier using the coloured version, and you see that I'm focusing on the spelling AI, spelling of the sound A, and I put all the words in here. I've taken the words from our level 1 workbook. This is what it looks like, right? But you don't actually need to buy anything for this. You can find these words online. My favorite website for finding words for games is Spellphabet. So just search AI words on the Spellphabet website, and they have not only words with single syllables but also words with more syllables, which are good for your extended level of activities, or differentiation as we call it. So how do you spell the words? How do you play the game? So basically you put your counters on start. You can have 2, 3 or 4 players, and the first player rolls the dice, 4, and then you count the numbers on the dice, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you read the word snail. Then the second player plays 3, 1, 2, 3, and reads the word bait. And then you continue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, paint. Now, if you land on a red arrow, you have to go back, and if you land on a green arrow, you go forward. And this is fun because you end up having to go back, and it can get quite manic and frenetic. Just to mention, for the children who've only firstly been introduced to the AI spelling, they might still think of the letters A, I as separate. So for those children, you might want to underline or highlight, you can get them to do it, the grapheme, the spelling, so they can see it as one unit. And that's what I would do for my very beginners. Just make sure that they can read it as one unit and play the game like that. And then, of course, you can play the game, sorry, this is wrong. You can play the game again without the highlighted or underlining of the words, which makes it more difficult to read. So there you have a free game. 2 versions. One that you can, one which is blank, and you can get the child to colour it themselves, and one which has got the arrows already coloured for you. Of course, you can actually get the child themselves to make the game, but make sure that their writing is legible, because if you can't read their writing, then it will be difficult to read it when you play the game. Well, go for it. Enjoy.